his heaviest, he was just shy of 600 pounds. While his roommate financially supported him out of sheer pity, YouTube was debuting as a video sharing platform. This early on, it was still mostly populated by home videos and vlogs, with the occasional viral video peppered throughout. While it was rudimentary, it was more than enough to pique his attention, and soon he started posting content of his own. 16 years ago, in the ancient times of the old 2006, the first video was uploaded to the Boogie2988 channel. It was a simple, short clip of a 31-year-old Boogie playing.
Bro.
The videos kept coming, and because he appeared in them, his appearance itself would become a topic of conversation in the comment section. Since at this point he was used to people making fun of him for his videos playing into the joke, such as "Fat guy eats McDonald's French fries."
This is damn food, I shouldn't eat so much of it. Shouldn't be eating at McDonald's, but I am.
Eventually, one of these videos saw a surprising amount of tests, especially for early YouTube standards. The aptly titled The Incredible Bull had Boogie ripping his shirt off, showcasing his M1 Abrams game. Overall, people were very sympathetic towards him, as he embraced the mockery of his race and seemed to be a kind and down-to-earth guy. But even at this stage, Steven's intention
the lie
was not
behind
just
the
having
mask.
fun. He wanted to following online. Since back then the term YouTuber didn't exist and the thought of building a brand out of your personality was ludicrous and far-fetched, Boogie uploaded many different kinds of videos to try and get some views, such as this hypnosis video, which was seen over 5 million times. For the first few years of his channel's existence, he slowly built a community, with series such as Rambling About Nothing, where the only purpose was to engage with the viewer.
Magic the Gathering plane chase. People were really excited about it and watching.
In 2009, the channel hit 3,000 subscribers, which once again at the time was a respectable amount. Soon after, however, he uploaded a video explaining the absence of uploads, where he reveals his mother had died. But, unlike his previous bit of complete inactivity due to some kind of tragedy in his personal life, Boogie came back with a vengeance and began playing a character. Francis, the living and breathing, though struggling to do so, embodiment of the basement-dwelling gamer stereotype, complete with Mountain Dew stains all over his shirt. In early 2010, Francis took a prominent role in Boogie's channel, partly for comedic purposes, and partly because Boogie enjoyed trolling those who were unfamiliar with his content into thinking Francis was a real person. Eventually, a Francis video was featured on Ray William Johnson's Rules 3, which was the early 2010s equivalent of having Moist Critical react to your video. Essentially, it meant you either were, or soon will be, really, really popular. The video that Ray showed was titled, "Francis Gets His Warcraft Account Hacked," and honestly, it's pretty tame compared to a lot of the stuff we see nowadays. Regardless, it was entertaining enough that nowadays it stands at a whopping 5 million views. This sets a precedent for
GG, we
following
win.
years, the Francis character would be the channel's bread and butter. The channel grew tremendously, to which Francis reacted.
Yeah, pretty exciting, man. Pretty exciting day.
Bro.
Yes.
The channel surpassed 13,000 subscribers, and a few other classic videos also went viral, such as Fat Guy Destroys Xbox. However, despite how central Francis became to the channel, Boogie continued to also appear as himself because he genuinely enjoyed interacting with viewers, regardless of how out of context it seemed alongside the comedy videos. While he did try a few other characters out, such as redneck stereotype Jesse, Francis retained his position at the top of the hierarchy. By the end of 2010, Boogie had 40,000 subscribers and had amassed 10 million views. In 2011, Boogie did a series of Let's Plays of Minecraft as Francis to capitalize on the growing gaming trend on YouTube, which at the time was at its very beginning. But along with these innovations, Boogie continued to post the tried and true format of Francis freaking out, such as,
What the
"Where's
fuck
my
would you
Mountain
ping me
Dew?"
for that, you fucking nigger?
I'm right here, and I don't have any Mountain Dew.
Like, I saw some Mountain Lightning earlier.
Where did you hide the Mountain Dew?
With the extreme success of his channel becoming profitable as YouTube's ad revenue mechanisms became more functional, Boogie moved out of the apartment he was living in and into a house with his girlfriend, who helped him record the videos and even quit her job to help him out with them. Part of the reason that it was easy to play Francis as much as he did was because Boogie was indeed very passionate about things like gaming news and internet culture. All he had to do was play up the fits of rage while he spoke his mind, and he was consistently met with hundreds of thousands of views and decent money to go with. After successfully proposing to his girlfriend and opening a gaming channel called Boogie Plays Games, he hit the milestone of 100,000 subscribers. It's also around this time Google Plus integration was implemented, which forced people to use their real name to comment on videos and led to a general uproar on the platform, with Francis pitching 2 cents. But since this was a more serious topic for him that he felt passionate about, Boogie also spoke on it out of character, and soon after after, he was once again featured on Equals 3.
So recently, YouTube changed their comment system where now you have to sign in to your Google Plus account before you can actually.
Nice job, Vigar.
Personally, I don't care. I don't read comments that often, and frankly, it's just YouTube. Who gives a shit? But I've noticed people freaking out like, I gotta sign into Google Plus. What is this, Nazi Germany? But this guy Francis has a rant about the topic. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
By the end of 2013, he got married to his girlfriend, had a better camera,
William
and
Johnson.
grown a proper base of 1 million subscribers. In early 2014, he started appearing on TV shows and commercials, which marked the peak of Boogie's career.
This guy told me you're too fat to be on the internet. Check yourself now.
He was now officially a mainstream YouTuber, not just a viral gag based on Francis. He had a genuine fan base, a real community. A lot of people watched him because they genuinely liked him and considered him a kind, level-headed person with reasonable opinions. This persisted for years, receiving acclaim for YouTuber under the sun, and many looking to him to weigh in on some of the biggest dramas from 2014 to 2017 with his opinion, an opinion that at the time people did value.
Let's start by talking about what happened to Felix, because I think everybody knows what happened to PewDiePie. PewDiePie made some very tasteless jokes that I did not personally find all that funny.
He would also talk about more serious issues.
PewDiePie made some very tasteless jokes. What a fucking nigger, dude.
He suffered a shit. The fans put 2 and 2 together and figured he was talking about Nicole Arbor, who was also widely hated on the YouTube platform at the time. Boogie posted a video expressing sympathies for Matthew and also detailed abuse he claimed to have suffered. Through the Francis character, Boogie was funny. Through his more personal videos, he was thoughtful, introspective, and a voice of reason amidst all the madness of 2016 YouTube drama. He was someone many looked to for a good take on situations. But as time passed, many began to feel as though this reasonable demeanor was a facade for someone with an extreme inability to take any criticism or stand up for any ideal. Thus begins the fall of Boogie.
Why would you take my scuttle?
At this point in time, Boogie was the Mr. Rogers of YouTube, antagonizing him was so unthinkable that low-tier God made a video doing just that for almost 2 minutes straight, precisely to try and be controversial. As anti-fatphobia movements cropped up, his stature once again became a topic of discussion, and after a long time of just accepting it as a fact of his life, Boogie spoke publicly about how he realized his obesity was actually a product of his mental issues not being properly dealt with, and that he wanted to improve by getting a gastric bypass surgery. After the midpoint of the 2010s, anti-SJW channels in the skeptic community were at their peak relevance, and their staff
Limit tests.
becoming increasingly publicized in conventional media. One of these feminists was Anita Sarkeesian, one of the main focuses of the online discussions for her belief that video games somehow encourage sexual violence. Though people online hated her, she had enough mainstream support to get herself a panel at VidCon. Another commentator on that same panel was Boogie, who was still seen as a good guy. During said panel, Sargon of Akkad and other skeptics decided to attend, sitting in the row. Of course, conflict erupted when Anita noticed them, and it would soon become one of the biggest dramas of the year.
Boogie, I think we all know, is one of the nicest guys who there is on the entire of the website. There's not really a guy nicer than him.
This perspective was echoed across many videos from skeptic and commentary channels alike. Boogie himself eventually spoke on what happened, revealing he was extremely nervous during the panel, and that after his closing statement, which was pretty mild overall and tried to minimize the static in the air, Anita came up to him and began berating him for saying his piece when she didn't have an opportunity to respond. This led audiences to criticize Anita, saying that she was an awful human being who had been mean to Boogie. Boogie tried once again to de-escalate by saying that, though initially confrontational, she ended up having a reasonable conversation with him behind the scenes, and they hashed things out respectfully. However, this attempt by him failed, as people noticed how uneasy he was while talking about it, and began claiming that he was cowering away from being completely honest about the situation. This exposed an issue that would later become much more glaring: Boogie's fence-sitting. Following the fallout of the Anita situation, Boogie's attempts at being a centrist who called out both sides was becoming more and more transparent, and people were seeing that he was interested exclusively in appearing to be the moderate side. Whenever he spoke about it, it was to say saccharine truisms about how making generalizations is bad, instead of addressing any element of the controversy directly. I get not talking about political things as to protect your brand. I pitch in to say basically nothing, or even worse, to say things you immediately contradict. Around this time, Boogie gets doxxed for the first time, which only goes to show what being in a 1-mile radius of any political community gets you, even if you try your hardest to offend no one. Another example of his fence sitting was a video he made about YouTuber Matthew Santoro,
fence-sitting Boogie.
plagiarized from other websites, which he immediately took down when he noticed it wasn't having good reception. On one hand, it's admirable to take a video down if you truly no longer stand by it. However, it seemed more that he was doing this to maintain his PR instead of, actually changing his mind on the topic. This is just one of many examples of Boogie doing this. More recently, Boogie said that people who purposely misgender others should get hit with a misdemeanor charge and even possibly jail time if it evolves into hate speech. Regardless of your opinion on this, after the tweet was met with negative responses, he pivoted to talking about how clips of his live stream were being taken out of context. As the reactions continued, he slowly buckled to public pressure, saying no one should go to jail because of the things they said, and he just had a bad take. Another example of him firing off without thinking twice beforehand was when he was trying to handle the Vox media scandal between Carlos Maza and Steven Crowder. Though it began with a tweet asking for examples of people being hurt by demonetization, it quickly detoured into him deriding both Steven Crowder and Vox in a really haphazard way, which, once again, both sides just proved of. I don't know how he doesn't notice that.
Woo!
Just makes everyone
Better.
more sick of his shit. I'm not sure if it's some kind of pathological compulsion or if he thinks this is a smart strategy, but it consistently concludes in him being ranked by everyone online. As a means of countering his narrative, he attempted to embrace it with pride, saying that he wasn't a fence sitter, but he was a reasonable moderator. While this approach did immediately save his credibility and unite his audience, it didn't prevent users of subreddits, forums, and other sites dedicated to documenting erratic behavior, noticing it all, and keeping tabs. What's crazy is that in the video where he talks about being a fence sitter, he outright admits that he doesn't care about many of the issues that he speaks on, which makes it all the more perplexing that he's still willing to. However great it was to see, being a fence sitter was far from Boogie's own leadership. Just as Boogie's image as the voice of reason began to fall apart, so did his marriage. In late December 2017, shortly after he got his gastric bypass surgery, he uploaded a video titled, "It's True, Wife and I Are Getting a Divorce. Here's what's next for us," where he goes into detail about how
Jesus.
the information given by Boogie in this video and other instances where he spoke out, it was an amicable separation, so much so that despite it already being in their plans, his wife waited until he fully recovered from the surgery. But things certainly weren't as friendly as they were made out to seem. Later on, Boogie himself admits that their divorce included a non-disparage clause he asked for, presumably to prevent her from saying negative things about him in a public space, which could damage reputation. Now, in fairness, relationships are often messy, and emotions can come over reason for those involved. It's possible this was a reasonable cautionary measure to prevent any unnecessary reveal of information that isn't necessarily career-ending, but maybe embarrassing if it were out there. But on the other hand, considering she was barely even a public figure, it made many question whether contract was needed at all. Immediately after the divorce, he created a sugar baby. If you don't know what that is, it's when a man, usually a wealthy one, offers to date a woman from lower economic rungs and showers her with gifts and whatnot in exchange for dinners and sex. Later on, he denied that this was the case and tried to beat around the facts that he did this, claiming their relationship was organic and totally not a sugar baby situation. Though these to be lies because there are images of his profile.
We know these to be lies.
Babies and their sugar daddies, respectively. Eventually, he did publicly all the accounts based on his own subreddit about half a year after the divorce.
Yeah, you're done.
The person he was dating, Lucy Fox, came out with a video called which was promptly shared on Boogie's subreddit, and though the original is no longer up, mirrors of it are pretty easy to find. In it, she claims that Boogie was verbally abusive to her whenever she tried to be independent in any way. Besides that, apparently Boogie didn't even hold up his end of the arrangement. Not only was he failing to pay her for her service, he was keeping her from doing any kind of work. So it seems this wasn't out of jealousy, but because he wanted a caretaker around him at all times so he could keep complaining about his life and victimizing himself. When this information became public, Boogie went on drama alert to defend himself. And since him and team were good buds at the time, Boogie had an easy time controlling the narrative about what happened and claiming that Lucy was his girlfriend and a gold digger, as opposed to being an unpaid sugar baby. He went pretty much unchecked by Keemstar, who tried to take a more neutral approach. But thankfully, at this point, people were already realizing that Boogie was the definition of an unreliable.
She said the only way she can make money is if she's at home doing her cam girl stuff, right? And that you wouldn't like let her leave the house. Is that true?
But she didn't live here. Like she lives at home. She has her own home.
But Boogie pretending to not have hired a sugar baby is extremely lightweight compared to his other offenses in the cap department. What other offenses, you might ask? Well, given that Boogie did this, people began digging through his more serious stories to try and find what else he may be lying about. Given he had always been very vocal about his rough childhood, some began comparing his multiple accounts of the abuse he had suffered at the hands of his parents. We can start with his mother. Despite occasionally praising her as a strong single woman who raised 3 children and took care of her invalid husband, in a Reddit comment he says the following. I've never really gone until both my father and my mother were sexual abusers who were both sexually abusive to me, along with one other family member who's still alive, so I don't feel comfortable calling them out directly. So I'll wait until her dead. I've discussed it mostly on live stream and only a little bit in videos. Sorry that I'm not comfortable going into further details. Later on, while streaming, he specified that this sex abuse meant molestation, but not rape.
How do I respond? My mother never raped me. My mother did molest me.
What the fuck?
She never, like, forced me to have sex with her, but she did. I don't know why people are like that.
In another, he claims his dad did rape him. In this tweet, he also claims to have been raped as a kid,
Christ.
notwithstanding claims that some good came of it, whatever the hell that means.
What
And in
the
another
fuck?
tweet, he
Some good
reiterated
came of
that
what the
he
fuck?
raped and then he's forgiven his rapist, which, if we're to follow the things he said so far, would be his dad, since he claimed in a tweet that his mother had never raped him. He goes as far as saying that his sister was molested by their dad, followed by the claim that his sister was gang raped in foster care. However, in a clip
What
of his
the
stream,
fuck?
he specifically says that his parents, plural, had raped him. In another of his Reddit essays, he follows the claims that he'd been raped with stories about how his mother stabbed him, his sister was almost beat to death, his dad punching him, among other things. It's strange because, while sometimes he says things that range from something to outright affirming that being raped was a common occurrence for him during his childhood, in other instances he claims it was just once. Under normal
Jesus.
circumstances, we don't have any reason to doubt or excessively scrutinize stories of this caliber, but at this point, Boogie was raising a few eyebrows with his increasingly extreme retellings. Eventually, a more precise statement of the nature of his abuse was made to Reddit. I was molested by an older sibling, female at a young age. I remember very little of it, but enough to know that this wasn't just further stuff related to my Munchausen syndrome my mother was famous for. Certainly inappropriate contact between me and my older sister. Several times when I was 3 or 4, beyond that, my mother insisted something happened with another family member. I have no personal recollection of that, so I've always presumed my mother was lying. But as I get older and more evidence rises to the top, the more I believe there was truth in it. What's even more complicated is that my relationship with my mother was certainly inappropriate, and those details I will take to my grave. His sister, how did this take place? While Boogie was down and now, keep in mind, before you doubt these claims, it's not uncommon for victims of abuse to be confused about what exactly they suffered since their memories are so traumatic. But to misremember and misuse as extensively as Boogie did led many to believe that he brought his abuse up as a way to garner sympathy whenever he felt the need for validation. Some thought he was changing his story when it felt more convenient to get more sympathy. Now I would go out and say that he lied about being abused in his childhood. For all of that to be lies would be genuinely reality breaking. There's a reason why many question his reliability as a narrator. In this and many other cases, he couldn't get his
you're
story
bad.
straight. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his documented contradictions or barrage of backtracks into the word definitions. Remember a story about how we used to do web design for leading websites? Well, that's what is typically called a massive euphemism. The truth of the matter is, Boogie ran precise, and not just in the distant past, but well into the late 2000s.
Jesus.
He'd already begun YouTube. In these sites, Evil Squared and CFporn.com, to name a couple, Boogie advertised for all kinds of adult content. He also used his online space to give his thoughts on things, as he would later do in his vlogs. One recurring theme was nothing other than his fleshlights. And I quote, "I think personally my fleshlight is a bit better than being with a woman in some ways. No offense, I figured I'd list the reasons. 1, it's
What
tighter.
the fuck?
2, it sucks
Bro,
without
fleshlights
complaining. 3, it's
better than
swallows
woman?
at least as
Like,
deep
what
as
the
it can
fuck?
go.
Dude, this
4,
guy's
when you're done, you can
ridiculous.
lock it in a dark place. Can't complain. 5, no need to reciprocate, but ultimately, I just
Oh my
flat out
god,
think
no
that
need
there
to
are some ways
reciprocate. What a
better
fucking
than the
loser.
thing. Honestly, nothing like it. It's like the first time you pop Mary Lou's cherry at 18, or sinking it into your girl's butt for the first time.
Wow.
It's tight, but oh so right.
What a fucking loser.
Mental health knows will be attached to the thing he's talking about. But you learn it's about as graceful as you can imagine. Another gem from Evil Squared is this anti-villain to your self-description.
No.
The fact that I'm crazy is no stranger to the good staff of Evil Squared, nor is it a strange concept if anyone reads this site or view my videos. I am, for all intents and purposes, that crazy. The
Bet.
past week or so has been different for me. This next week will be doubly so. Out into the real world, looking for real work at a real workplace. Hopefully landing a job this week. I'm excited. At the same time, these normal activities remind me exactly how insane I am. I wonder if the people interviewing me know what's going on under the surface. While I'm applying for a job, entering your data, or taking your orders, or speaking to your customers, do you know that during the previous weekend, we all got together and smoked weed and drank and does she know how many movies I've been to? Or does she know how many girls I've watched or fucked myself? Does she know that I'm a monster? Does she know that I have internet sites that are so disorienting that it would make Satan blush? Does she know that I've filmed more sex than she's likely to have had? On YouTube, Boogie was wholesome and reserved. Now, a lot of people are different behind the scenes than they are in their YouTube video. I wouldn't blame them. But it's hard to even believe that this is the same person as the one in the YouTube videos. Boogie2988 really wasn't him. It's now 2018,
Jesus.
and while he's past his, Boogie still has some footing in the YouTube community. But it's at this time that money became a big talking point across his various platforms. Along with a few other sob stories at the time, Boogie often mentioned his financial situation with an air of despair or concern. For example, in this tweet, he acts as if the money that he'll be earning in the next year will be his entire savings, since, as he prophesizes, his career is soon to be over and he'll go back to working retail. And this would be a very scary process, but it doesn't really add up. Mind you, at this point, he's been successful on YouTube for a decade and has over 4 million subscribers and owns his own home. He may have some more savings, if not for his Funko Pop video game and toy collection, but I digress. In his many videos centered around promoting his Patreon, he says the donations are contributing towards his family's peace of mind. Again, I'm the last person in line to judge someone for wanting to cash in, but it is a little annoying.
Well, now you want to outrun acting? Okay.
Like they're not and are just making enough to survive. In reality, Boogie himself admitted that he made 6 figures yearly in his upper middle class. So at the time, he definitely wasn't in line to get a job at Target anytime soon. But what really does it is the fact that he the same overpriced shit box that every mouth breather influencer also buys, Tesla. Yes, the madman actually did it. To make matters worse, he excused his decision to do so by saying that
Jesus.
despite AdSense paying him more, which he's probably lying about, his sponsors pay well and he can easily afford Tesla. A week later, however, he was back to portraying his impoverished persona, acting like he bought a car he couldn't afford and credited it. Later on, when people started throwing this at him when he tried to play poor again, he would simply pretend like he never said he bought it. Can you believe the gall you need to have to do that when you know people can print the things you say online and keep track of them? Yet another topic he's blatantly and consistently lied about is his weight. For example, during a 30-day clean eating challenge he did to lose weight, about halfway into it, he's seen eating fried foods and candy. In a stream clip, he claims this is due to the fact that he was attending no healthy food was available, which most certainly was a lie. Seriously, in the late 2010s, with insane amounts of money and phone with internet connection, you can figure out to eat yourself it isn't sugar-coated or deep-fried. And if there really is nothing else, you can just eat after or leave and come back. In late 2018, he posted an image on a scale showing that he was at 350 pounds. Then in January 2019, he claimed that he's now hitting 350 and this is somehow improvement. Either he somehow faked the scale's numbers in 2018, or he's lying to his audience in January, acting like he's still improving, losing weight. Keep in mind at this point, his YouTube earnings already paid for a weight loss surgery. His fans are cheering him on the whole time. Why even announce this weight loss journey if you're not going to follow through or even attempt? What's noticeable is that he could just keep these things private. He never even had to announce his weight loss journey. Instead, he deliberately made it public for everyone to see, only to lie about it for what seems like no reason. In countless different instances, he's seen drinking things from milkshakes and sodas despite having sworn these things off. Though he occasionally admits that he outright failed to eat his dinners in order to lose weight, he also often said that eating less is really suicidal and he has no intention of actually getting to any significant rate. In between the multiple glasses of soda per meal, pizzas, and cookies, it's evident that Boogie doesn't care as much about fixing his diet as he pretends to for inspirational videos on YouTube. A fitness YouTuber even tried to help him lose weight, only for Boogie to make snide comments on Reddit about how he's only after his clout and money, with more excuses about how being 350 pounds is where he's comfortable at and statistically where he's meant to be, whatever that's supposed to mean.
Jesus.
And I've authenticated it, so I'm going to read, and it goes like this.
Wow. Boogie is so sad.
Videos like this are not helpful. They are harmful.
In a clip from a later stream, he outright tells the people concerned about his weight to go fuck himself, and that since it's his body, it's his business, as if he hasn't made project upon project and pity post upon pity post, trying to get some community support for his weight loss plight, only to completely dump it and act like he never wanted to do it in the first place. It's one thing to struggle with weight issues, but Boogie struggles with treating the stragglers who, for whatever miraculous reason, still give him attention and money in pursuit of his weight loss. In December of 2019, Boogie began making a number of accusations
Y'all might be able to end off that.
to people via Twitter DMs, painting squatters and dangerous people who are trying to destroy his livelihood and physically harm him. He said, "Get away from that hive mind. They are sad, scary, dangerous people. They have swatted me, attempted to destroy my livelihood. They bombard my fans and sponsors with hatred. They have done awful, terrible things. They lie to you and tell you that they want the best, but then do the worst. If they wanted the best, they'd leave me alone. Trust me. I've been swatted twice this month already. They let her bomb 2 sponsors already. They contacted a friend of mine on Facebook tried to convince her to stop being my friend because she was a female and I am a rapist. With tales that tall and claims that dramatic, it piqued people's interest. After all, Boogie already had a reputation for exaggerating things at this point. The subreddit in question was r/SalmonTolkien. Regarded today by many Redditors as an invaluable archive for all sorts of shady shit various e-celebs have gotten up to over the years, the sub acted as a sort of Kiwi Farms on Reddit, documenting internet drama for all. One of the site's biggest threads was the Boogie criticism of the show, titled "The Hidden Truth Boogie Doesn't Want to Tell." Within this thread, they detailed his crazy vlogs, earlier interactions with his wife, his alleged sugar babies, Lucy Vlogs, and the Grave Ghoul, and many other accusations. They point out his association with Kid Behind a Camera, who this thread calls a known child abuser.
Boogie2988 just gave the least hard-hitting interview I've ever seen in my life. He glossed over abuse, allowed Michael, aka Kid Behind the Camera, to make excuses for himself and deflect from the questions that were being asked of him, and even coach Michael into making himself look like a better person.
Now, to keep things fair, this entire thread does frame some lesser or honestly negligible defenses in the worst light possible. So he said, I think the key takeaway from this is that regardless of the less hard-hitting criticisms, the Boogie on YouTube was hardly in line with the Boogie portrayed in that thread. He was a completely different person away from camera. It wasn't even close to who he let on he was in his 10-minute rants. But regardless of that criticism, Boogie was now claiming that his subreddit and his users had swatted him, not once, but twice in 1 month. Curious as to the validity of these claims, one of the people who runs the subreddit by the name of Haberdasher A went through all of the moderation logs for the month of December to see if he could find any evidence of the claims that the subreddit was involved, but to no avail. When he asked for any evidence of Boogie's claims of swatting, his story did what he always does when pressed for veracity. It started to change, with him now claiming he didn't know who in particular swatted him, while still insisting that it did happen.
Yeah, you're lagging.
I have no idea knowing who swatted me and never said I did.
Loser.
Just said I got swatted last month. Once when I was away at the Game Awards, and another over Christmas break. This is true. 2 times, Fox came out with a partner and an ambulance. Seeing as Steven has still failed to provide any actual evidence for what he was saying, Haberdasher decided to look into Boogie's local police station's publicly available logs to see if they'd ever been to his house. Fayetteville Police Department's public dispatch logs showed that no officer presented Boogie's place of residence in the entire month of December. They confirmed
This fucking Renekton just doesn't want to kill this guy, I guess. There we go.
Police Department deferred the dispatch records after a welfare check in July of 2019. I think it should be clear to anyone on Apple brain that this
There
was
we go.
a lie and that Steven is just shooting himself in the foot, trying to cover up a lie with another lie. If that wasn't enough, the Fayetteville police had dispatch logs of a welfare check in November 2019, nearly 4 months after Boogie
There we go.
stopped the welfare check on him. Boogie informed of this, Boogie responded by saying that the police had made a mistake, and he didn't know why there would be a record. It should be noted that the state where Boogie lives, Arkansas, has state law that requires that records be kept of all dispatches, so even if he tried to get such an arrangement with the police, he wouldn't be able to. It's against the law. Did Boogie2988 get the governor's permission? When asked via email, Fayetteville stated that under no circumstances would they not have a dispatch record of a visit to someone's residence. For Boogie to not be lying about the users of the subreddit in this situation, the only possible explanation is that the police state doesn't follow the law about police dispatches, lies via emails, and has a secret deal with Boogie to not make welfare checks to his house so that internet trolls will not be able to bother him on Twitter more. Not only that, but Boogie, in all of his infinite wisdom, would have to leak the news of this secret deal with the police in which he would be implicating himself in order to prove that he was telling the truth.
Jesus.
Add up. And it's such an idiotic thing to lie about. Once again, he made completely unnecessary claims he did not need to, when he could have just ignored the sub altogether. But I guess the craving to make yourself out to be a victim is too hard to resist. After being caught in this mountain judgment against it, that pretty much proved he was lying. He finally admitted to lying about the whole thing. But of course, he couldn't do it the right way. Honestly, he admitted, why? Because if he did that, then he has to admit that he did something wrong. And not in a disingenuous way, in a way that would show some actual humility and maturity. Basic human being things. Instead, his statement was that all of this has been part of an elaborate master plan to basically lying and go after him. He claims that he intentionally falsely accused his critics and his local police department of committing a federal crime for fun. See what the master manipulator wannabe had to say. So I always have a bunch of people tweeting at me for attention ever since I talked to one critic this summer. So I took advantage of that and slipped into the DMs a few weeks back and told one guy with misinformation I knew he was leaking to make sure the truth. I'm a terrible liar, so that is so true. I dated a 43-year-old woman for almost a year. Said I was writing a book, half easy, all kinds kinds of other stuff. I was hoping it would keep them busy. It sure did. It was like they did the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Why don't they
One of the
forfeit?
things I said that I got 2 visits from the cops in December. Now that's not so much of a lie because I got maybe 4 visits last year. I just shifted the dates around. Had no clue they would latch onto that one like they did though. To prove me wrong, they literally looked up my home address, cross-referenced it via police records to try to discredit me. But in the process, actually proved I got spotted 3 times last year, providing the dates, making it easier to find my address. By the way, I mean, they literally violated Reddit policy by making it easy on a thread to find my home address. It could even get their subreddit shut down. Absolutely insane. What's even crazier is that they tried to make it seem like I blame them for the squad.
Corkscrew fire, let's go. Oh, alright, direct hit. Holy shit, that's it. That panel must have been crazy. Armored Flora, you think this would be enough to take me out? Oh shit. Oh shit, this slow pan? Mm-hmm. He's gonna take out Tamakia with just what he's got right now. Hey, you big fucker! Ah, yeah, here we go. Yeah, yeah.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Ah, oh, yeah, right. Perfect. Okay. Here we go, here we go. Nice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bruh, why don't they just listen to the copy paste? I make the copy paste every single time. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, this is the league's hacker guy. Oh, Dodd to do something. Yeah. Oh, shit. Recording.
Just back up. Yeah. Bro, just back!
Okay. Let's get into the specifics, though. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh, he's gonna drag him out. Yep.
Bet.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh my god.
Bet.
Yeah, this is a dance. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. It's time to wake up. Yeah. It gets stitched back together. It's me. Yeah. Let's tango. Okay.
With the wing team comp?
He's dreaming of this, and
oh, you're so fucked. Yeah!
no. Okay.
Bruh.
Burned by his own flames. Oh, and now we're just setting up compress. Yeah. Yeah. Ha! Wow. Oh, fuck.
Bet.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Fuck. I mean, this is all, yeah. Every single hero that knows Endeavor from before, yeah. Not even that long ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Right.
But
Which is
he's
why
not actually
Best
dead.
Genus is not actually
Right.
dead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, he opened with how many innocent people he killed.
Bet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's gonna be Shoto and Toya. He called him dead.
Yep.
Ah! All right, Endeavor. This is where you can redeem yourself here. Yeah, his own prominence burn. Yeah. You taught me everything.
Holy shit.
And Dobby's might die from this too. Like.
Oh. Oh, what do we got?
Nice. I mean, I don't know why you took the kill, but nice.
Hey! Shit! Oh shit!
Hey, yeah!
Holy shit! Wait, Gables? Wait, what? Wait, threads, I get it, but like...
Bet.
Yeah, if he can...
Cable threads, like...
I mean,
metal?
threads really, they could be made with metal, you know? Like...
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
Oh, we're gonna get a special
been waiting
for Toya in this ED.
Probably, yeah.
Nice. Oh, cool.
Oh, alright. Wow. Oh my god.
Toya is Dobby?
Yeah, I mean,
no
right?
surprise.
No surprise, but he planned this. Like,
He
you've
set
had a lot
this
of
up.
time to plan this out. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He prepped everything.
And that makes so much sense then why it's no, I never trusted you Hawks. And that's fine because I wanted to see whatever you would do so that we could have it captured and recorded so that way, oh hey, this is what heroes are like. Yeah.
Just as long as it's not him.
Right. I'm just better than them because I'm honest about the fact that I kill a bunch of innocent people. You know? Yeah.
And even then, he's not even necessarily saying that he's better.
No.
He's just saying, you're gonna let that are basically indistinguishable from me be the ones that you look up to as gods and heroes.
Yeah, I wish
No,
my hero was better.
Even if you think they're better
It
than
could have
you,
sucked the landing
they're
and been a
not.
really great show.
Right? He was running away crying, right? Stabbed him in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. It's
Shit.
like
the way in which
again.
Endeavor is so rattled to his core,
because
and he's literally seen the demon of his past, but then also his child that he loved, probably in his own sick way as a young father.
Well, right, because the way that we got to see inside Endeavor's
Literal
head,
skeleton in his closet.
yeah, with regards to how he saw Toya, in a lot of ways, unfortunately, probably a more healthy way that he looked at Shoto. Because he at least was the acceptance with the yes, you will go and surpass me and do all of this stuff, and you're the mini me, you know, and everything, as opposed to with Shoto where he wouldn't even acknowledge that, right? You know, and
Right,
and
it just
all of
adds
this,
even more to the complex nature.
yeah.
Endeavor as a character because he's now changed so much. But not only that, it's the realization that the reason why, because we kind of assumed a lot of this stuff, but the reason why he put so much specific emphasis on how to put the specific way, and it was because in some ways he had failed already once before. And it's not that he had failed once before and then tried on the other two. It's the he never tried on anybody else until then you came along, and it's the
I'll do it right this time.
Maybe
I'll make
I'll
it
do
work
it right this time.
But do
then,
it right. It's not, you know, I'll be a good
right,
father.
But then what happened with Ray happened, or his wife.
Yeah, I believe her name was Ray.
His name is Ray. Yeah. And she burned Shoto.
Yep.
And you did what you did to her.
Exactly.
It's all that there. So now we get a really powerful scene with Shoto then screaming out for his dad, calling him dad twice, rapid succession, with the panicked heart of a son who's just like, I don't want to see you die here. Obviously got some shit to resolve over the course of many years of undoing the trauma and stuff.
We'll add it to the pile of shit we've been working
but for
on.
right now, can we deal with this right now? And I'll handle him. Can you get the others out of here? Right. This is about to be really, really bad.
And the about face that before this happened, Endeavor, after all of the shit that had happened, oh, I have a crushed lung and all that stuff. Gigantomachia, okay.
All right.
You know, like, let's...
He's ready to do it.
I'm the #1 hero after all, so...
Watch me.
Yeah, watch me, right? And then,
Dobby shows up to take fat dancing
right?
shit all over his grit.
It's just like you attack his heart, right? Like Endeavor's like a strength thing. Okay, that's been my obsession my entire life,
bro.
Oh, I can fight that fight, right? Oh, this.
Oh, Battle of the Heart. I lose.
Fuck.
I lose.
Yeah, it's. Yep.
Emotional
I am already
damage.
dead. Yeah, like emotional damage indeed.
Critical damage.
Yep.
He's stunned. I was stunned.
Woo!
I really liked the fact that Dobby was eating it up because he always felt a lot to me like he was a bit of a
theatrics
a bit of a drama-seeking kid in that regard. And
with that level of edge, you have to.
And makeup, jutting up, definitely dyed hair.
Right.
No one was ever surprised in that regard. But
GG, I quit.
okay. He's here, but he doesn't just have the I'm declaring this to you Endeavor. I've got it set up to where I'm going to post a recorded, thing to the broadcast of the TV stuff that they hack into a satellite here.
Paternity test and everything.
Yeah, the paternity DNA test, whatever. The whole footage of Hawks, just the admittance of how much he basically deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life, with the murders, and then just why well, let me tell you about
my story.
Wonderful father. And the fact that it's so much more than I'm gonna take it down to my level. This isn't just some Joker shit.
No.
This is someone basically wanting to go out in such a such a prominent way to burn, if you will.
Oh yeah.
That he doesn't care about even his own life or anything.
The way he jumped off of Gigantomachia, and it's just kind of like he was gonna belly flop, like free fall, and just like, but I'm gonna burn as I go, like that.
And I'm going to explode you and kill you along with me.
Yeah. That. Okay.
What's sickeningly scary about this is that because he was stopped by Best Genius, which is just amazing. I'll tell you all. We can get to our issues with the episode later, but powers are always OP. We've been saying this since the dawn of the channel, but if you ever are wondering why do they keep saying that, that's what Best Genius just did.
Yeah.
And it's what are the limits to his power? He controls threads of things.
He has
how long,
action
how
economy.
far, how much specificity, how much strength, as much as the plot to have.
Oh,
Holy
exactly.
The way he upgraded them so they're not threads more.
Well, they might have threads literally inside them.
Yeah. Who knows how it works? But like, Dobby's not gonna be able to get out of that.
No, he literally can't.
Like, no, he's just fucked. Now, he might not because he just...
No, he did his part.
Right, he did his part. But
He's
even
a
if he...
martyr for his message.
And even if he keeps burning, which...
Right, and maybe melt some of the...
Yeah.
The thing.
Like, granted, given that he... Given his quirk and everything, I could
Easy.
see it be... And zealotry, I could see it being something where he's okay with that, but...
Yeah, he could literally kill himself.
Yeah, he could absolutely kill himself.
And that would also be a fun way for them to be incapable of refuting the story that he brought up.
Oh yeah, because he murdered Sided?
Well, if he actually immolates his corpse to the like his own body to the point that he becomes ash, then they can never actually refute it.
Oh yeah, right.
Because even if the heroes run like they try to make false evidence of to spin a different story about
right,
this.
of like...
This is just some guy who's obsessed with Endeavor and is...
Yeah, he wasn't... It was a fake test, you know,
and they
whatever.
do it for the sake of society, and they make a big lie about it and everything.
Yep.
It wouldn't necessarily even matter because they would have no evidence.
But also, I don't think Endeavor's the type of person who would actually do that.
Sure, but might not be
I'm outta here.
choice.
Maybe
it's
it
the
would
kind of
be.
thing where they're like, no, Endeavor has some things it needs to work out, but for now, we need to let you know that was a wild, raving lunatic who's obviously admitted to kill 30 people. So though there is definitely some struggles with the Todoroki family and the controversies surrounding
We appreciate
their
you giving them
marriage and stuff.
privacy and,
We'd appreciate you respecting their privacy as people and
Right.
individuals, and understand that this guy sought to destabilize society and spoke in no way, shape, or fashion about anything that is true or what have you.
But this is something that I very much appreciate from the standpoint of the narrative as a whole. One, like, let's be real. The best shit, a lot of the best shit in MHA is the Todoroki family stuff, right? It's so good.
True.
It's so good. And with the journey that Endeavor's been going on, I am absolutely here for it. I absolutely love it. Endeavor is one of my favorite characters in MHA at this point. But you gotta be very careful that it doesn't go into, well, we'll just pretend or forget about all the shit that happened, because that's serious shit. You don't just brush it under the rug. And so having Dabi bring it up, not just for the characters here, but for the world at large, yes,
Gangbang
this
nice.
is your next big test, Endeavor. Now that it's all out in the open, can you still say, watch me?
Right? Even if you're never going to be the #1 hero ever again.
Yeah.
Or not even that. You won't even necessarily be allowed into being a hero, maybe. Like, literally,
Endeavor's been
That's also not
no,
true.
really, but they literally might just so
MHA would never go that deep.
The bus where the Endeavor's going to basically...
But also, like, it never did need to be canceled.
Sure,
Yeah,
that could happen.
That actually makes sense.
And if they don't, is that like because say we're in a wartime right now? We'll deal with the things of our soldiers
obviously, I don't
after,
care about when
you know.
it happens, but it's the idea that this stuff will definitely get addressed.
No, totally.
And it's
But
when it does.
No, right. But if it's something where it's we can't afford to address it now because of urgent things and stuff, then, which would be a very practical decision in a direct because Endeavor is ridiculously strong.
Yeah, of course.
Then that just keeps then oh yeah, the public's just like, oh yeah, no, so he's still just doing his thing, right? Oh shit,
And that is very cool stuff. So I'm very excited that we had multiple mini plots get kind of resolved here, so that we could set up really quickly to have suddenly Dabi's just gonna monologue and dance on top of Gigantamakia, and it's terrifying, it's unnerving, it's wonderful,
The only thing I could wish that the whole bit with Uraraka and Toga just wasn't in this episode. Like there have to be memes of like all I have to do is touch her once.
Yep, exactly.
Right, exactly.
It's like what the fuck?
Danny, Uraraka kind of forgot about her quirk.
Jesus.
Next, what it's gonna that there's a thing about how she has to hold the same spot with all 10 fingers. I don't know. I would love to know, y'all. Let us know in the Discord. Let us know what was going on there. Is that just a bad visual representation of it? And it's just, no, she actually wasn't touching her. She never was. And,
is it like she was touching her clothes,
Jungle
not
Cat?
her skin?
No, that's
that never happened before. She's touched people and just touched their uniforms and things.
Nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's its own dumb thing there. But the idea that we're now in a fight where most of the main characters are in position. Todoroki is here. We have other heroes that are
and it's
They're
a
assisting with
lot
the
more
rescue
of the
there.
kids now.
A lot more of the kids now, yes. But also, there's a lot of people that, yes, are under real danger here because Shigaraki is not actually done. Yes, he's being held by Gigante Maki.
I do hope though that Bakugo does get back into the fight. I love the idea of him just being like, yes, my organs are fucked up.
I really don't. I don't.
Yeah, no.
I want him to be taken away from something there. He was part of the thing that we need to give other characters a chance to shine here.
We need to give other characters a chance to shine. Biggest MHA problem.
Out of left field, best genus thing. That's already its
Huh?
own thing. Best genus is already gonna have a heyday if Gigante Mafia even remotely decides to
do anything,
resist in any way.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was thinking about it, and then I was like, oh wait, maybe Bakugo doesn't like keep fighting, but it's the no, get in there, they need you. I'll take care of myself. But the thing is that when you have wounded people that can't really move, and you have Gigantomachia, if they're anywhere in the vicinity, they're going to die if Gigantomachia does anything.
I don't think we can get this,
Like,
but we can
that's
try.
just how it works.
He's JoJo. He's literally holding Gigantomachia.
Yep.
For now.
For now.
Shigaraki is somewhere in one of these hands, but that's its own thing there.
Yep.
Cool. I would love to see this fight spill over and continue and not just be solved from here. This is just the next stage of things continue. Heroes coming with reinforcements.
It gets messier and
it gets messier and messier and messier. And
because this is war, and war isn't clean.
Well, right, but this is just one episode, bro. This is
Oh yeah, I know.
Regular MHA 26 episode,
and
season. So
yes, that too. But also like, there wasn't really much fighting at all that happened this episode.
Well, yeah, because it's Dabi's moment.
Right, because it's Dabi's moment. So
I love the title being dropped here in the middle transition card. Dabi's dance.
Yeah.
Like he really did. He did dance.
Yeah, he
he literally danced, but then also he did also just kind of trample on the
on the ashes of the previous Hero Society. Yep. It might get rebuilt into something, but it is not. Hero Society has changed forever. Dabi just had his stain.
He exactly think
had
I
his
was
stain
reading my
moment.
mind. He literally was inspired by Stain did things and is like, I'm gonna do that.
Of course he would. Like that. This is a of all the people
this
that
is his manifesto.
Right, exactly. But of all the people that joined the League of Villains because what happened with Stain and everything, I feel like this is the strongest, most like inherently tied to who he is as a person. Where it's natural that after you hear about Stain, you'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna be like.
I loved the prominence burn thing there. Look, this is the thing that
Yeah. Bet.
fire from above. Lands on his shoulder here and like dissipates.
It melts Todoroki's ice. Yeah.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Oh my god. But all right. Next episode, fight continues. It's gonna get crazy.
This is the one way that you are able to kind of fight back against what Dabi said. No, best Genus is alive. Hawks didn't kill him. Hawks didn't kill him. That
was a death fake out.
Yep.
That was specifically something that they had prepared for this because they knew
Yeah,
that
that shit.
they would have to probably
from a major stroke, one that left him basically immobile and unable to function. He was no longer able to hear and struggled a lot with communicating after he developed a stutter as a consequence of the stroke. Now, with just one parent to take care of him and his siblings, Boogie's support system was even smaller, and his binge eating severely worsened. It's tough enough to be raised by a single parent, but as his dad moved out of the picture, his mom's abusive behavior took center stage. Usually, in the absence of a healthy and nurturing home life, people seek refuge in their peers and community, but this wasn't an option for Boogie either since his classmates did little besides mock him for his weight and appearance. Things were dire, and Boogie's future prospects looked very dark at this point in his life, but thankfully during high school, he was given an opportunity that would turn things around. Upward Bound is a federally funded pre-college program designed to give high school students a better opportunity at attending a university, targeted specifically at those in low-income or rural areas who may be less likely to seriously consider higher education. While participating participating in this program, he met others in similar situations to him who shared his interest in nerd culture. He bonded with a girl on the program over playing video games, which marked a silver lining on the dark cloud that had been his childhood up until this point. By the end of high school, he had friends and even a girlfriend, and upon graduating, he enrolled in the same college as her, the University of Virginia. But thereafter, they would break up. And since this was his first serious relationship and one of his few sources of happiness, it hit him hard, sending him deep into a depression which affected his academic performance. His grades were so bad that he had to drop out and once again lose directions. But thankfully, his brother took pity on him after he noticed how much he was struggling and decided to offer him an opportunity to move away and start from scratch. Named him up on that offer, not that he had many alternatives to pick from. While in Arkansas with his brother, his life once again saw improvement. More nerds in the area, then making friends wasn't going to be difficult. Soon, he was participating in Dungeons & Dragons and the Gathering Sessions' new social circle. On top of that, he learned how to code in HTML, which led to him working as a freelance web designer. One of the downsides of this was that he'd have to take clients he wasn't particularly excited about, such as CD not safe for work websites, but then again, it was still better than unemployment.
So I started using what I learned to start coding for the web, and I started doing web design, which was really fun. Sometimes I ended up with clients that I didn't
stable income and a healthy social life. However, he was still getting sick and he was depressed very often. He never properly dealt with his childhood trauma, and because of that, he also never stopped binge eating. Any resulting weight gain worsened his other issues. At around this time, his father passed away from cancer and his mother broke her leg, a combination of events that condemned Steven to a period of chronic depression that lasted a total of 7 years. During this time, he rarely left his house and was, for all intents and purposes, a youth, not in education, employment, or training. As his motivation to work dwindled, the coding market became more and more competitive, causing his source of income to drop quickly, a fate that was soon after met by his savings. Also, due to not leaving the house, his social life stopped existing. After all that he'd been through, he found himself back at square one, with the only significant change being that he was significantly